Note to learner: this video provides content that will be hosted on the Ginnie Mae LMS in the near future. In this video, you will not be able to interact with screen content to include selecting pop-ups, launching resource hyperlinks, and answering knowledge check questions. Nonetheless, you will be presented with all of the content presented in the interactive e-learning training. Though the audio narration may request that you select items or buttons on the screen, please pause the video to read the content and then select play to continue with the video. When the video advances to a knowledge check, please pause the video and try to answer the question in your head. Select play to see the correct answer or answers to the question.
There are three main types of compliance reviews. The forward MBS issuer review. This review focuses on issuers of mortgage-backed securities in the forward market. Reverse HMBS issuer review. This review is specific to issuers dealing with home equity conversion mortgage-backed securities in the reverse market. Document custodian review. This review examines the role and responsibilities of document custodians in the compliance process. Forward issuer reviews applies to single-family, multifamily, and manufactured housing issuers. Focuses on cash management, collections and loss mitigation, endorsements, custom testing based on portfolio type. These reviews are performed on-site at issuer or issuer subservicer facility or conducted remotely. Reverse HMBS issuer review applies to home equity conversion mortgage, HECM, mortgage-backed securities, HMBS issuers. Focuses on cash management, participation accounting. These reviews are performed on-site at issuer, servicer, issuer subservicer, issuer's participation agent, document custodian review. Ginnie Mae document custodians can also include multiple issuers using the same document custodian. Focuses on evaluation of custodial facilities and financial security. Individual issuer portfolio evaluations. These reviews are performed on-site at the document custodial facility.
Now try this knowledge check.
Review frequency and My Ginnie Mae roles. Reviews are scheduled by Ginnie Mae. Probationary issuers are reviewed 3 times within 24 months following issuance of the first pool. Other issuers and document custodians are reviewed at least once every 3 years. More frequent reviews may occur with larger issuers and document custodians or those with high-risk findings from previous reviews. Issuers, document custodians, and subservicers who participate in compliance reviews must coordinate with your org admin to maintain My Ginnie Mae roles for all users who will participate in compliance reviews. Here's an overview of the compliance review lifecycle. Compliance review lifecycle contains 7 phases, from pending to closed. This e-learning will cover each phase in depth, discussing the main actions, as well as the users and roles that will take each of the main actions in each phase. Throughout this e-learning, you will see demonstrations of how these actions are performed in the compliance and monitoring module of Ginnie Mae Central.
Now try this knowledge check.
The first phase of the compliance review lifecycle is the pending phase. You've reached this milestone when the review has been added to a future quarter's itinerary. the review lead was added by the advanced manager. The authorized signers have confirmed the review liaison. The main actions in this milestone include the review liaison and advanced manager agreeing on a scheduled start date for the review. Quick reference cards, or QRCs, were created to provide a step-by-step visual aid for these key actions. Confirm review liaison. Once Ginnie Mae schedules a review, the issuers and document custodian's authorized signer receives an email notifying them to assign the review liaison for the upcoming review. The review liaison serves as the primary point of contact for the compliance review. The system will send users targeted email notifications like this throughout the life cycle of the review. Let's see this in action in the CNM module. I am logged in as an authorized signer for Julius Mortgage. To confirm review liaison, I will look at the tasks pane of my homepage and select Confirm Review Liaison. At the top of my screen, I can see that this task has been sent to all authorized signers at my issuer that hold this role. I must accept this task before I can complete it. To assign the review liaison, who is the primary point of contact for the compliance review, I am presented with the option of choosing a user who exists in the system for my organization with this role. If a review liaison has been previously assigned, the system will pre-populate with the existing review liaison for their authorized signer to confirm or to change. Typing the user's name in the search bar allows the authorized signer to select the user they wish to serve as the review liaison for the review. Once they've selected the desired user, select Confirm Review Liaison. Confirm Review Start Date. Once assigned, the review liaison will view the initially proposed start date and either confirm or request an alternative. For issuers, the review liaison may also add subservicers to the review if applicable. Helpful tip: if unable to accommodate Ginnie Mae's proposed start date, request an alternative date as soon as possible. Let's see this in action in the CNM module. I'm logged in as Julius Mortgage's review liaison, the user who was confirmed by the authorized signer in the prior step. To confirm the review start date and/or request an alternative date, I will start by selecting the Confirm Review Start Date in the Tasks bar on the left-hand side of the Compliance and Monitoring homepage. To confirm the pending start date, initially scheduled by Ginnie Mae, I will select Confirm Start Date. In the event that I wish to request an alternative start date, and I cannot accommodate the originally proposed start date indicated on the screen, I can select Request Alternative Start Date. To request an alternative start date, the review liaison must provide a requested start date as well as a reason for the date change. For issuer reviews, there is also the opportunity to add a subservicer if applicable. To add or confirm a subservicer, select Add a Subservicer. If subservicers already exist in the system from a previous review, the system will show pre-populated information from the prior reviews. When adding new subservicers, users will complete the subservicer form by entering in the subservicer, the subservicer point of contact, the Ginnie Mae approval date, the effective start date, and any additional subservicing context. Once complete, select Confirm Start Date.
Now check your understanding.
The second phase of the compliance review lifecycle is the scheduled phase. You've reached this milestone when the review liaison and advanced manager have agreed on a scheduled start date. The main actions in this milestone include review liaison completes the subservicer questionnaire if applicable. Note, this does not apply to document custodian reviews. Review lead and review liaison can manage participants. Helpful tip: proactively coordinate with org admins to ensure these users have required My Ginnie Mae roles in advance of the review. Quick reference cards, QRCs, were created to provide a step-by-step visual aid for these key actions. Complete subservicer questionnaire. If the issuer uses a subservicer, the review liaison will be required to complete the subservicer questionnaire, detailing which activities are completed by the issuer, the subservicer, both, or neither entities. Let's see this in action in the CNM module. I'm logged in as Julius Mortgage's review liaison. To complete the subservicer questionnaire, I will select Subservicer Questionnaire in the Tasks bar on the left-hand side of the CNM homepage. To complete the Subservicer Questionnaire, read the preface and instructions, and go through each row to indicate which party, issuer, or subservicer, or not applicable, is responsible for each functional area on the review. Note that the responses indicated in this demo are not representative of how an issuer would necessarily fill out this form. Issuers should read each row and assess whether they or their subservicer are actively involved in each activity listed. Once all rows of the subservicer questionnaire are complete, the review liaison must indicate whether the subservicer services all pools for the issuer or whether the servicing is split. In the event the answer is no, and the subservicer does not service all pools, the issuer must provide a pool servicing breakdown to indicate which pools are serviced by the issuer in this case, and which pools are serviced by the subservicer. That information is only required if the answer to this question is no. Once all sections are complete, select Submit Questionnaire. Manage review participants. The review liaison may add participants to the review. To be added as a participant, users must be registered in My Ginnie Mae and assign the necessary GMC CNM role by the issuer or document custodian's org admin. Let's see this in action in the CNM module. I'm logged in as the review liaison for Julius Mortgage. To manage participants, I must first access the review record. I can do so through the banner at the top of the screen or by clicking the ID link within the My Company Reviews grid. Once on the review record, to manage participants, select the Participants tab. This screen shows all of the participants on the review, from the review team, the issuer, or the document custodian, and for issuers where it is applicable, subservicers. Select Manage Participants. On this screen, you will see current participants on the review in a grid on the left. On the right-hand side, users may add additional participants to the review. Select Add Participant to search for a member of your organization to add to the review.
Now check your understanding.
Once complete, select Update Participant. The third phase of the compliance review lifecycle is the planning phase. You've reached this milestone when the review liaison completes the subservice or questionnaire, if applicable. The main actions in this milestone include the review lead sending the advanced package. There is no action on the issuer or document custodians in this phase. The action is on the review team to send the advanced package.
Now check your understanding.
The fourth phase of the compliance review lifecycle is the advanced phase. You've reached this milestone when the review lead sends the advanced package. The main actions in this milestone include review liaison responds to the advanced questionnaire, address advanced requests, and advanced selections. Helpful tip: advanced selections are drawn from advanced requests, so provide responses timely to avoid delays in the review process. Quick reference cards, QRCs, were created to provide a step-by-step visual aid for these key actions. Submit advanced questionnaire and requests. Once the review team sends the advanced package, issuer and document custodian participants are required to respond by uploading the requested documentation. Let's see this in action in the CNN module. I'm logged in as Julius Mortgage's review liaison. However, any review participant can perform this action. Select the review banner or review ID link to access the review record. Once on the record, select the Advanced tab. On the Advanced tab, select Upload Advanced Questionnaire. Details are displayed on when the template was received, its current status, and a space will be populated when the questionnaire is returned. Users can see the due date that the advanced questionnaire needs to be submitted by. Users will be able to download the advanced questionnaire template, which is an Excel document. Complete the questions listed in this document, then return to the screen to upload your response. Click Upload Advanced Questionnaire to send it to the review team. To submit advanced request from the Advanced tab, select the advanced request ID to respond. Before clicking the ID, let's take a moment to notice the grid. The grid contains information about each advanced request: the name of the advanced request, the portfolio scope, the timeline scope, the current status of that request, and its respective due date. Note that document custodian reviews follow the same process, except for timeline scope is not applicable. Looking into an advanced request through the ID, click Upload Response to begin working the advanced request. The information that was also displayed on the grid, as well as information about which pools this advanced request pertained to and this compliance review pertains to. The test month is also displayed. Enter a folder name and upload any associated documentation. If applicable, provide any additional context in the response comments section. Click Upload Response. Note that the grid updates and reflects the status of this item to be sent. At the top of the screen, the review progress bar also updates, showing your progress towards completing all advanced requests. Since Julius Mortgage has a subservicer, Kellogg Mortgage, an additional bar is shown for the sub-review that the subservicer is providing information for. Respond to advanced selections. Once Ginnie Mae makes advanced selections, issuers and document custodian participants are required to respond with additional information and additional documentation. Let's see this in action in the CNM module. I'm logged in as Julius Mortgage's review liaison. However, any review participant can perform this action. First, I'll select the review banner or the review ID link to access the review record. On the review record, I'll select the Selections tab. On the Selections tab, I will select Respond to the Selections button on each of the selections categories. This button will become visible once the review team has made selections. So check back often as your review approaches. For document custodian reviews, selections will function the same way. However, the selections are all loan level and are batched into 100 loan groups. Once I click Respond to Selections, the right side of the form provides instructions on which documents to upload for each of the requested selections. Read these instructions carefully. Select Upload to attach the requested documents to each selection. Click Upload Response. This will send the documentation back to the review team. Respond to matters requiring attention, or MRAs. If Ginnie Mae logs matters requiring attention, or MRAs, the issuer and document custodian participants must respond. These are items that arise throughout the course of the review, such as a clarified question on documentation provided. Let's see this in action in the CNM module. I am logged in as Julius Mortgage's review liaison. However, any review participant can perform this action. First, I will select the review banner or review ID link to access the review record. Once on the review record, I will select the MRAs tab. Here, I can see all MRAs pertaining to this review. I can filter by those that have been resolved, those that remain unresolved, as well as additional filters. I'm presented with a grid of all MRAs below if I have the All MRAs button pressed. In it, it lists the type of MRA it is, the title, description, and status. I see this MRA is awaiting my response. I'll select the MRA ID link to open the MRA, presented with additional details of the MRA. I will click Respond to MRA to open up the form to respond to the MRA. I have a place to upload documents, as well as an additional box to enter comments. Only one is required, but both are allowed. Click Send Response to return to the review team.
Now check your understanding.
The fifth phase of the compliance review lifecycle is the in-review phase. You reach this milestone when the review will start on the scheduled review start date. The main actions in this milestone include entrance conference logged, test areas are worked and findings are logged, initial letter generated, exit conference logged. Helpful tip: findings logged by the review team update in the system in real time, so check the system frequently during this phase. Quick reference cards, QRCs, were created to provide a step-by-step visual aid for these key actions. Attend entrance conference. Once the review team logs the entrance conference details, issuer and document custodian participants may view them on the entrance conference tab. The entrance conference is the formal kickoff meeting for the review. Let's see this in action in the CNM module. I'm logged in as Julius Mortgage's review liaison. However, any review participant can perform this action. To attend the entrance conference, first I will start by selecting the review banner or the review ID link to access the review record. Once on the review record, I will select the entrance conference tab. On the entrance conference tab, under the details section, I can see the date and time, meeting link, conference notes, and attendees who have attended the entrance conference. Again, the entrance conference is a meeting that formally kicks off the in-review phase of the compliance review. The review team and issuer, document custodian, and sub-servicer participants will meet to discuss the compliance review. View findings roll up in initial letter. Issuer and document custodian participants can view findings logged by the review team. Let's see this in action in the CNM module. I'm logged in as Julius Mortgage's review liaison. However, any review participant can perform this action. To view findings roll up, I'll select the review banner or the review ID link to access the review record. Once on the review record, I will select the findings roll up tab. On the findings roll up tab, the total unique findings logged across issuer and sub-servicer reviews will be displayed. In this case, we see there were 3 findings logged. However, because one finding code was logged on both the issuer and sub-servicer sub-reviews, it is only counted once in the findings roll-up, illustrating how this only counts unique instances of findings. On the summary tab of the review record, the initial letter is available for download on the left-hand side of the page under the initial letter section. Upon generating the initial letter, you can see that the finding details shown on the finding roll-up tab are also included in the initial letter, along with additional details. Complete findings worksheet. Once the initial letter is generated, the authorized signer will receive an email to complete the findings worksheet. The findings worksheet is where the issuer initially responds to each of the findings, indicating whether they agree or disagree. Let's see this in action in the CNM module. I'm logged in as an authorized signer from Julius Mortgage. To complete the findings worksheet, I'll start by clicking the Complete Findings Worksheet task under the taskbar. This task has been sent to all other authorized signers at my entity that hold the same role, so I must accept the task to claim it. I can see all findings that were logged in the review, both for the issuer and for the sub-servicer supporting the issuer's review. I will review each logged finding and use the thumbs up and thumbs down icons to agree or disagree to each finding. Disagreed findings must be accompanied by a comment explaining the reason for the disagreement. Once complete, select Complete Worksheet to send the form back to the review team. Attend exit conference. Once the review team logs the exit conference details, issuer and document custodian participants may view them on the exit conference tab. The exit conference is the formal conclusion of testing and marks the transition from in-review to in-remediation phases. Let's see this in action in the CNM module. I'm logged in as Julius Mortgage's review liaison. However, any review participant can perform this action. To attend the exit conference, first I will select the review banner or the review ID link to access the review records. Once on the review record, I can select the Exit Activities tab. On the Exit Activities tab, I will see some of the same key information that was displayed on the Entrance Conference tab. I see when the conference is, date and time, the meeting link, attendees, and notes, as well as I have access to the initial letter that is also available for download via the Summary tab. There are 4 types of testing: cash management testing, delinquency testing, liquidations testing, and endorsement testing. Cash management testing evaluates remitted funds passed to security holders and assesses accuracy of reporting. Delinquency testing evaluates the effectiveness of issuers' default management practices procedures. Liquidations testing evaluates issuer management and reporting of liquidated loans. Endorsement testing evaluates existence of agency insurance or guarantee on the Ginnie Mae portfolio.
Now check your understanding.
The 6th phase of the compliance review lifecycle is the remediation phase. You reach this milestone when authorized signer completes the findings worksheet. Review lead confirms the move into remediation. The main actions in this milestone include findings resolution plans, or FRPs, are worked and reviewed. Helpful tip: FRP evaluation may require multiple attempts, so work in advance of mitigation deadlines. Quick reference cards, QRCs, were created to provide a step-by-step visual aid for these key actions. Submit finding resolution plans, FRPs. Issuer and document custodian participants must submit finding resolution plans for all open findings to mitigate the issues identified. Let's see this in action in the CNM module. I am logged in as Julius Mortgage's review liaison. However, any review participant can perform this action. To submit FRPs, I will start by accessing the review record by either clicking on the review banner or the review ID link. Once on the review record, I will select the Remediation tab. On the Remediation tab, I can see all of the sub-reviews that were included in my compliance review, both the sub-review for my issuer, Julius Mortgage, as well as the sub-review contained in the test areas that were worked with my sub-servicer, Kellogg Mortgage. All findings are my responsibility to address as the issuer. Looking at the grid, I can select the ID of the finding that I want to submit an FRP for. Before we do that, let's take a moment to examine the grid. We have the finding code, an indicator identifying whether that particular finding was recurring from the issuer or document custodian's most recent compliance review, the description of the finding code, the risk level, the FRP progress, the due date, as well as the status. To submit an FRP, I will start by clicking the ID link. I can then select Work FRP. complete the finding resolution plan or FRP, I will enter and/or upload the required mitigation and prevention documentation. I will now do the same for prevention of recurrence documentation. Once I've provided all information and documentation relevant for this FRP, click Submit FRP to send it back to the review team for evaluation. Findings, risk level, and remediation timelines. The timeline for submission of the finding resolution plans, FRPs, varies depending on the risk level of the finding. There are 4 risk levels. They are high risk, cash related. Findings in this category require immediate attention. High risk, non-cash related. These findings also require swift action but are not directly related to cash management. Medium risk. These findings necessitate timely but not immediate action. And low risk. These are less urgent findings that still require resolution. Findings resolution plans, or FRPs, require 2 components. First component, correction and mitigation of identified conditions. This is a description of the steps taken to correct the identified issues and mitigate the conditions causing the issuance of the finding. Additional supporting documentation reflecting the issuer's internal correction or mitigation of the identified issues. The second required component of an FRP is the prevention of recurrence of identified conditions. This is the description of the policies or procedures implemented to prevent the recurrence of conditions causing the finding of noncompliance. Additional supporting documentation reflecting implementation of the policies and procedures described in the FRP.
Now check your understanding.
The 7th and final phase of the compliance review lifecycle is the closed phase. You've reached this milestone when the final letter is generated and the review has been closed out. No further actions can be taken in this review. The final letter, helpful tip, is generated once all findings are mitigated, conditionally mitigated, waived, or deleted. Quick reference cards, QRCs, were created to provide a step-by-step visual aid for these key actions. View final letter. Once all findings are mitigated and the review is closed, issuer and document custodian participants can view and download the final letter. Let's see this in action in the CNM module. I am logged in as Julius Mortgage's review liaison. However, any review participant can perform this action. To view the final letter, first I will select the review ID link to access the review record. Once on the summary tab of the review record, I can see that there is a download icon next to the final letter over on the left-hand side of the screen. Downloading the final letter, much like with the initial letter, we'll see the final results of this closed review. Information about when the review was conducted, as well as the findings information reflected in the initial letter, along with the new information of the findings status. On the final letter, the issued findings are categorized into one of 4 statuses. Those statuses are mitigated, conditionally mitigated, deleted, and waived. Mitigated, a finding with an accepted findings resolution plan or FRP. Conditionally mitigated, a finding with an accepted FRP that is subject to one or more conditions being met for the finding to be considered mitigated. Deleted, a finding which is considered removed from the initial letter and not identified as having been issued to the participant but is labeled in this manner for auditing purposes. Waived. A finding for which Ginnie Mae subsequently issued a waiver, where a waiver was subsequently produced by the participant after the in-review phase.
Now check your understanding.
Summary and how to request help. The goal of this training module was to offer a comprehensive overview of the compliance review process. You've learned about the three main types of compliance reviews, including forward issuer reviews, reverse HMBS issuer reviews, and document custodian reviews. You've also explored the compliance review lifecycle, examining the requirements and outputs for each phase. Additionally, you've seen how these actions are performed in the compliance and monitoring module of Ginnie Mae Central. Finally, you've gained insights into the three finding risk levels, their criteria, and their implications for mitigation timelines. Should you need help or assistance related to your compliance reviews, submit an inquiry to askginniemay@hud.gov or explore self-service resources such as quick reference cards and user manuals, all available on Ginnie Mae's website.